Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I've got two iPhones here. An iPhone 15 Pro running iOS 27 and iPhone 17 Pro Max running iOS 26. So I'm just going to compare Siri across these two devices. Just a few things to note before we start. The iPhone 15 Pro here is 2 years older than this phone. So which means the chip is 2 years slower as well. So just remember that in mind when we compare speed and stuff like that. And another thing I want to say is that I'm not going to ask any questions that require personal context. For example, the newer Siri on iOS 27, it can go into your messages and calendar and stuff like that and find information for you, which I'm not going to ask. Anything that's personal to me, I'm not going to do it, at least in this video. There is a video that I'm already working on, which will drop in the near future, so hit subscribe so you know when that drops. Final thing I want to say is that I'm going to ask the same questions across these two phones, and I'm not going to speed it up or anything like that. And if one of the Siri doesn't get the answer right or if it fumbles, I'm going to keep all of them in the videos, so you get a clearer picture of how good or bad the new Siri is. Okay, let's get to it. The first question I want to ask is something really simple. Set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, counting down, starting now.
Stop all my timers.
It's cancelled. Okay, cancelled.
Okay, both phones were really good. Both versions of Siri, they were quick on it. That's really simple. No complaints there either on either phone. What's the weather tomorrow in Cardiff?
Looks like it will be cloudy in Cardiff tomorrow. Expect cloudy skies in Cardiff tomorrow.
Interesting. Older Siri was much faster than the newer one. And I think that's going to be a common theme across this video. Not because the iPhone 15 is slower. Yes, it is slower and it is in a beta. But I think the newer Siri has to go to the cloud because it does a lot more processing. It's going to get a lot more answers right. And it's going to be much better than the older Siri. And I've seen a lot of comments online as well that the newer Siri is a bit slower at doing normal tasks that we are familiar with. Anyway, let's move on. Remind me to call my doctor tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Okay, I've added it. I've added a reminder to call your doctor tomorrow at 2 p.m.
There you go, the same thing happened. Older Siri was slightly faster. Again, this is a newer phone and it's got a stable version of the operating system. But as I just said, newer Siri is going to be better at a lot of things, but it's going to be a bit slower because it has to do more processing. It has to go to the cloud and all that. Let's try one more question. Add milk to my shopping list.
Okay, I've added it. I've created a new shopping list and added milk to it.
Okay, I found that really interesting. So these are not connected to the same iCloud accounts. On my 17 Pro Max here, I did have a shopping list, so it just added to it. Whereas this one, it took a bit of time, but it created a new shopping list as well and then added milk to it. This is what I mean. Siri is a bit slower, but it knows how things work. It's much more intelligent. And even though it's a bit slower, it gets things done. How far is Tokyo from here?
I'm not sure how far away Tokyo, Japan is by car, but it's about 5,963 miles as the crow flies, miles away.
So the older Siri said it wasn't really sure, how far the drive is, but it did give me an answer and was much quicker. Whereas the newer Siri just gave me the answer. Who won that? I think I'm going to give the score to both phones because both of them did it. What's the difference between AirPods Pro 3 and AirPods Pro 2?
Here's what I found. The main differences between the AirPods Pro 3 and the AirPods Pro 2 are the Pro 3's heart rate sensor, improved active noise cancellation, ANC, longer earbud battery life, and
So that's one instance where the new Siri was much better. The older Siri just gave up and decided, these are some links that it found for you. Whereas the newer one actually gave you an answer. You didn't even have to tap on it or anything like that. Imagine you have AirPods in your ears and you have a question. The older Siri would have made you, take your phone out, tap on the link and then read it for yourself. Whereas the new Siri gave you a very good and comprehensive answer. This is what I mean. Even if, the newer Siri is a bit slower, it gets things right. Okay, let's ask a question about one of my favorite movies. Can you explain me the plot of Tenet?
Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer that? In Tenet, a CIA operative known as the protagonist is recruited by a secret organization to stop a Russian oligarch, Andrei Sator, from using a device called the algorithm to invert the entropy of the entire world, which would destroy the present. The plot revolves around the concept of inversion, where objects and people can have their entropy.
Yeah, no question there. Which Siri would you prefer? This new Siri is way better than, whatever we had. Okay, the next question, the Football World Cup is happening. Let me ask a question on football. What's the latest on the Football World Cup?
Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer that? In the latest FIFA World Cup round of 16 action, Morocco defeated Canada 3-0, and France beat Paris. Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer that?
Yep, that's totally correct. This was the game yesterday and Monaco did beat Canada. When is the next Christopher Nolan movie releasing?
Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer that? Christopher Nolan's next film, The Odyssey, is scheduled to be released in theaters on the 17th of July 2026.
So based on those questions, the new Siri was way better. It did take a bit of time, but it knew what I was asking and it gave comprehensive answers. And also, mind you, this is still in a beta. When this launches to the public in September, I'm pretty sure it's going to be faster and it's going to be even better. Explain quantum computing like I'm 10 years old.
Do you want me to use ChatGPT to answer that? Quantum computing is a new kind of computer that uses the rules of tiny particles.
I don't know why I'm even still asking questions because the newer Siri is way better. If I was born in 1994, how old was I when the first iPhone came out?
Here's what I found. The first iPhone was released on the 29th of June 2007. If you were born in 1994, you would have been either 12 or 13 years.
Yeah, I got nothing to say. I honestly have nothing to say. Why should I buy an iPhone 17 Pro over a 16 Pro?
I found this on the web. The choice between the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro comes down to whether you prioritize camera upgrades, battery life, and charging speed.
Okay, let me ask one last question. What do you know about the Tech by Taz YouTube channel?
Here's what I found. The YouTube channel Tech by Thaz, also known as Thaz, is run by a London-based creator who focuses on long-term Apple product reviews, iPhone photography, and practical tips for iOS, Mac, and iPad. The channel is known for providing honest takes on everyday consumer technology.
Okay, good answer. What I found interesting was that the older Siri couldn't even understand what I just asked. I think it said Tech by something else, not Taz. Whereas the new Siri, even though the 15 Pro Max hasn't got good microphones like the 17 Pro Max, figured out what I was asking and it told me what it thought about this YouTube channel. So to give you the verdict, the newer Siri is way better than what we had. It's a bit slower, yes, but it's in a beta and this, as I said, it's an older phone compared to the 17 Pro Max here. But it was way more efficient. It got a lot of answers right. And then, when people get this in September, they're going to be surprised how good it is. The one thing I want to say is that, I've been using Siri since the iPhone 4S and Siri has been always bad, but now finally it's good. I think the biggest problem for me personally is to remember to use it. Like in the past few years, I've gotten used to, using Claude and ChatGPT because I know Siri is really bad, so I don't even bother. And I think that's the common sentiment that Siri is really bad and people have started using other AI agents. I think the biggest problem Apple is going to face is that convincing people that Siri is now actually good. I'm sure I'm going to have that problem because, my first instinct is not to go to Siri because I know it's bad. So remembering to use Siri when it is actually finally useful is going to be, let's say it's going to take a bit of time. But as you saw, the new Siri is really good. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing if this was helpful. I have other videos planned on like personal context and all that, and I will make another updated video by the time iOS 27 launches to the public as well. I'll link one video to it if you do want to watch it. It's a video I did a couple of weeks ago on like hidden features on iOS 27. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.